The day I met Bullhorn Betty and Jonathan Lee Ridges, they were protesting in front of the Laundrie's home. I began to document them, and little did I know, the three of us would spend the next few months traveling together. The day I met Bullhorn Betty and Jonathan Lee Ridges, they were protesting in front of the Laundrie's home. I began to document them, and little did I know, the three of us would spend the next few months traveling together. Nothing scares us, even if it means crossing a freezing cold river and getting wet. We put our lives in danger because we want to find answers. It gives us purpose, even if it means going undercover to get those answers, or visiting the scene of a crime and paying our respects. Searching for the truth isn't easy. It gets you out of your comfort zone and makes you see things in a different perspective. And it's this perspective that we want the world to see. At the end of the day, we fight for justice. We fight for those who don't have a voice. We fight for those who were silenced.
Good morning, Coffee Club. How are you? Get your cup of joe. Come to the drama-free zone and sit down and let's have a chat, shall we? Good morning, beautiful people. Aussie, how are you? Jovi, Rainstorm, good to see you. Good to see all of you. Good to see everyone. Kathy, good morning. Good morning from the United States and around the world, right? So we're going to wait for a few more people to get in here. You're right. I am going early. You know, we got away with going a little later in the day. And this morning I have other obligations. So this is not going to be too long. I've got to leave the house here by about 7:45. I will tell you, I'm not sure if I'm going to go live for the next few days. I'm going to tell everybody up front because I'm traveling first thing in the morning and won't be back until about Thursday. So if I may go live from the hotel room. But I will be covering a different type of case. It's of a person that's coming up for release from prison. So they've already went to jail for their crimes. I don't know when I'm going to release the footage, folks. So it's not going to be one of those things that are probably, hey, what's up? I'm at work for 2 more. Oh, they don't let you have coffee at work, Amanda? Get yourself some coffee. Tell them to quit being such coffee Nazis. Just joking. I'm just joking. God bless you for joining from work. We appreciate it. We love each and every one of you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So we're going to be going through a whole bunch of stuff today. You know, we've got 3 major cases and actually another one that's popped up. And it's of these kids. I mean, outside of summer, these are children that, were part of this DCS, Department of Children Family Services, or whatever alphabet soup that they call themselves per state. And I think the bigger picture in this whole scenario is, why is social workers doing criminal investigations? I think that needs to be the bigger conversation. They're not trained or equipped to do a criminal investigation. Law enforcement is trained and equipped to do criminal investigations. So, we are very curious as to what is going on here, and the fact that they're overworked and underpaid. They've got way more cases than they should have, right? There's so many things going on. They cannot keep these social workers. They don't have the funding to have the adequate amount of social workers to handle the plethora of cases that each county across the United States has. And I'm sure this is not, just for the United States. I mean, we all countries that have a children and family service type of setup probably is dealing with the same kind of situations. We're not unique in this fact. We're just not. So it's a bigger picture that we need to discuss. And then you've got Harmony and you've got Serenity, both that hadn't been seen by their DCS worker or Department of Children and Family Service worker in well over a year, and they're missing. Some people say that they believe Serenity. Well, people say that all three of these girls they believe are alive. I can tell you, I've only investigated and reported back and reported on one case, and that's Summer Wells out of these three. I have not gone to New Hampshire. I have not gone to Kentucky and, interviewed anybody. I don't, outside of what I see in mainstream media and what I hear about Google, on Google rather, I have no information on them other than what I'm reading. Right. And as many of you know, when we go out and put our bodies out there in the area and start speaking to these people, what we've been reading and hearing is totally different than what we find out. Right. So it makes you wonder, are these children still alive? Perhaps. I don't believe Summer is. Some do. And to each their own. I'm not going to criticize somebody's mindset. I just know what conclusion I've come up with after I've went out there and did my due diligence, and it's for each person to do their own. Right. So at any rate, where are we going? Yes. So we're not going to jump right in. I'm going to still set up. We're going to just have some light coffee talk. It's almost better than pillow talk, right? But the good news is with Summer Wells, Don Wells is behind bars today. He's waking up in solitary confinement. Jonathan Lee Riches reached out to the jail and found out that, he is in solitary. He's not in general population. So that's good. We don't know if he asked for that kind of treatment or if that's just the kind of treatment that they are giving him, seeing the circumstances. It'd be interesting to find out, because if he didn't specifically request that, it makes you wonder why they're doing that, right? So we're never going to know about that unless we do a public records request. May choose to do some. But I find that Harmony is very interesting. We have so many different things going on in that case. We do have a few updates. Let me just see if I can pull these up without the volume, and I'll just read some stuff here. So Manchester, New Hampshire supporters of Harmony Montgomery gathered Saturday evening in Manchester to spread awareness for the missing girl. The group prayed and talked about Harmony at Bass Island Park. So Bass Island Park, organizers gave out pins, flyers, purple ribbons to post around town. Purple seems to be here lately, the calling card for these missing children. You know what I'm saying? Because Summer's favorite color is purple. And Summer just had a birthday a few days before Don met his fate with the judge. I can tell you that the judge gave him the max sentence on his probation violation, the max sentence. And that's the first I've heard of that in Hawkins County related to Don Wells. He's always been getting slaps on the wrist. He hasn't been charged with crimes that he should have been charged with. His probation officer, Danny Henry, hasn't been, violating his probation for every violation he's done. He hit one and he was done. He's like, well, he's got one. We have an interview with Danny Henry, and I will be bringing that to you guys at another time. Yesterday, many of you were asking where I was. So I was in a different area. We were working with a family that has had a missing mom, 75-year-old Ruth Cecala. And we got an opportunity we met the daughter, the day that we originally started our search out in James E. Gray Park, our reserve. And they still are of good spirits. I can tell you that they're of great spirits right now. And that's good. They feel that she's somewhere. They don't feel that she's met with foul play. They feel that she's still, alive. And that would be a real blessing if we can bring her home. But I got an interview with the daughter and the son. The father, I can tell you, is still emotionally shook up about everything. He's trying to, it's been several months. He's trying to keep himself occupied and trying to keep himself busy and trying to find the little bit of happy in life right now. So, I really don't blame him for just trying to, heal. It's just it's a bizarre case. I have to tell you, it's a bizarre case. But we are, working very hard to try to find any information. We have searched the area that she was at thoroughly. The team has searched the area thoroughly. I was out there, and JLR along with Caribbean Kool-Aid went out there multiple times without me because I was busy on other projects. I could not attend with them and wanted to, by all means. I did want to, but they went out there and they literally searched every wooded area thoroughly in and around her home. And the reason why they were going for the wooded areas is because she had indicated she was going to go for a walk in the park, did not indicate which park, and that she was going to go downtown and do some shopping. Happy Sunday, Susan. Good morning. Good morning. So, it was it's a little bizarre. So we're going to just try to bring as much social media attention to the case as possible on multiple social media levels, platforms as possible. Many of you guys don't know. I'm heavily, prior to coming over to, many of you do know, the ones that follow me from everywhere. I've been on, Facebook for many years, built a huge platform over there. And I have been here for, I don't know, we're going on 3 months now. So just about 90 days, and built a decent platform in 90 days. And, before coming here, I was on TikTok. If you guys don't know what TikTok is, it's not just for, the young, the super young, because I'm not super young, right? Hold on, let me mute this. I'm not super young, right? So let me try to share this real quick. You guys will be very proud. Good morning. There we go. I have now, where's my profile? I have now crossed over 71,000 viewers and subscribers on my TikTok. I do a lot of stuff that you guys see on here, but see, I'm limited to 3 minutes. So we did do a lot on here. A couple of them hit a million, mostly 20-something thousand, 100,000, and Brian Laundrie. But we work very hard. We've been working very hard for a really, really, really long time, so very pleased with that I'm finally moving up on my TikTok. And I really don't post as much on TikTok as I used to. I'm more here on YouTube. I can if I go live on TikTok like I do here, I can make a lot more money, but I don't do a whole lot of lives on TikTok, and I'm going to be starting to ramp that up to convert some of those folks over here to TikTok, or from TikTok over to YouTube. Let's see here. Sorry about that. So we're moving right along. But anyways, going back to Harmony Montgomery, they say that if you keep a person's name and face out there, that's what we do, keep a person's face and name out there. It's going to constantly remind people, because always remember that vivid face and name. And I have to agree with that. A lot of people, think what we do is controversial, and that's okay. We're fine with controversial. I've never backed away because something is controversial. And, we have different pressure strategies that we do, out in the field, in person. And we do it in person because some of the stuff, you guys got to read the law. You can't do it in any other form or fashion because it's against the law. So we try very hard to make sure we follow the law explicitly in all states. And the only way that we can do things is in person and under the Constitution, right? So we keep these people's face and names in social media. For example, going back to Ruth Cecala, outside of a few segments that the mainstream media put out about Ruth Cecala, Edie, they haven't talked about her since. Outside of the initial search that law enforcement has done out there, we haven't seen them. They've exhausted all the stuff that they can do out in the field. So now it's, trying to run down leads if they've got some. So this is why it's so important for people to be involved in their community and people to be involved in these cases. It's easier for us to have groups, search groups, and, people, following certain policies and procedures, so to speak, that work, right? In their respective states and counties, because then other teams wouldn't have to come out from out of state. You can get people out there a lot quicker. You can get people on the scene a lot quicker. You can get people covering the case a lot quicker and getting it out in the social media limelight. Because just like my friend Brian Enton, he goes out, he covers these cases, he covers them the best he can, and then he moves right on to the next headliner, right? After that, he may circle back to the case, but there's so many cases out there. It would make you sick if you found out how many missing and dead and people that have passed away, that have been murdered and stuff are out there. It is very truly scary what goes on in this big world that we live in. It's very scary. So we're really, really happy. If you like this channel, please like, share, and subscribe to it. If you would like to donate on a monthly level, we have a Join Me button with 4 options that you can be a monthly partner to this channel. We're not here every day, all the time. We do segments when we can. I am a field person, so I'm out in the field. If I can be out in the field getting interviews, searching, helping, any way I can, I'd prefer being out there than here at home. That's just the way I work. And many of you guys, I'm going to give you guys let me go get my, I wish I had my phone in here. I do not have my phone in here. I'm going to play a little skit for Summer Wells so I can just step back. It's about 8 minutes, but I'll cut it short once I get back here. But I'm going to go grab my phone and hook it up because I've got some, do I have the videos on there? Let me see if it's easier to do it a different way. Because I did get it up. And I just wanted to play some things. If you guys want to go watch it on your own, you may. Just going to. We'll watch the commercials. Why not? So I just had a service announcement. So to speak. So we're going to play it. It's a little goofy music, and that's okay. That's okay. Let's see if I can get this up. Okay, good. It's still on silent. Okay. Play it for everyone. And we'll get started. I do that all the time because I don't like the echo. So I mute myself. I know. I do it all the time. But it's crazy because, we work very hard. And in most cases, we work very hard for families. A lot of people don't realize that families reach out to us. And they reach out to us because we have the controversial strategies that we use in some cases, right? We don't mind putting ourselves out there. We don't mind getting the backlash that we do for exercising constitutional rights and stuff like that. Even some politicians here in Florida don't like it, right? They're trying to make an unconstitutional bill to prevent it. I can tell you, we've already reviewed the bill. It would not apply. I hold press credentials. Jonathan Lee Riches holds press credentials. So I don't know if they start, limiting the press, I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of problems. So furthermore, it was based upon 3 or more people, right? Many see who do they see in front of the Laundrie house for the majority of the time? I mean, and not only that, there's just other strategies that can be deployed based upon the current bill as it's written that is going through Florida Congress right now. Should it be, taken into? I don't know how many constitutionalists out there are going to start limiting what people can do on public property. You realize public property is owned by the citizens of that perspective of the United States. I don't know of any public roadway that's specifically built purely on county tax dollars. Usually you get federal funding. And so, I mean, most of these streets in our counties and in our states are owned by our entire population. So I don't know how they're going to figure this out. I really don't. I really don't care. It's not going to stop anything that I'm doing. It's not going, if I want to protest, I'm protesting, period. If you want to lock me up, lock me up. The optics on that would be horrible. That would be horrible. And as many of you guys know, I don't mind going to jail for a good cause. I mean, we have seen my mugshot like splattered across the entire internet. Back when I was doing the laundries, they went through this on TikTok. Now I'm new to YouTube. So we're going to, and then the next big platform that comes out, right? Next big platform that comes out that I decide to start utilizing for the work that I do, guess what? It's going to start all over again, right? It's never ending. It's never ending. Nothing new, nothing original, just the same old, unoriginal content that some people think is considered content, right? So we move forward. We've always forged forward. Been doing this for a little minute. Nothing's really going to stop. I mean, at the end of the day, we're field workers. We go out in the field and we work. And I think that that has caused a lot of people discomfort, right? It's caused them discomfort. Even as of yesterday, where were we? We were sitting in front of people. We didn't have them on our show. We didn't go live. We went to their home and sat down with them and talked to them and got to know them and got to know the family member on a personal level. That's what it's about for me. It's about helping, not just helping these families, but knowing these victims on a personal level. Why is that so important? Because it makes me work 10 times harder. When somebody becomes my friend and somebody becomes almost family to me, there's no stopping you, right? There's no stopping you. Good morning. Good morning. Jackie Blue. Welcome. Welcome, my love. Welcome, my love. So that's the importance that I think really is the key for me. If somebody is human to me and is personalized to me, it makes me work that much harder for them. It makes me go out there, and when I'm ready to give up, when I'm tired, my feet are hurt, my feet are blistered, it makes me go the extra 5 miles, right? Because that's literally what I did. I walked 5 miles on huge blisters on my feet to help somebody that I don't know, help a family I don't really know. But because I met with them and they told me their story, it stays in the back of my mind. when I'm out there in the field. And it's very important to keep going. So, it's very sad with Harmony. Many of you guys know the Harmony Montgomery case. Her mother didn't have custody of her. They gave her to a criminal father. The father had been convicted of some pretty nasty stuff, pretty violent stuff too. And they gave custody to him. And he was remarried or had a girlfriend or something like that. I think they were married. I don't know. I can't remember the actual details of this particular case, whether they were husband and wife or they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. It's kind of like the Summer Wells parents. Are they married? Yeah, they had a marriage, but was it licensed? Or, was it just they met somewhere, did their vows, and that's that? There are some states that allow that. You don't have to go through a licensing process. Here in Florida, you have to go through a licensing process. Anybody knows it'd be me, right? Because I'm going through a divorce. And I got to tell you, it's a lot easier to get married. Not so easy to get a divorce, even an uncontested divorce. Like I go to court for my finalization of my divorce in April. I filed in May of last year. It's an uncontested divorce. My husband and I went up there together, had them file all the paperwork. We had our everything already, like there's nothing we're fighting about. We just want that piece of paper that says we are divorce, right? Forgot the D, divorced. That's all we want, We were actually friends, even throughout the process. The only thing that diminished that friendship is the fact that he left his dogs here. And he told me he was coming back here to pick up his dogs. And he just picked up a trailer with a bunch of tools that he could pawn and left the dogs here for 24 hours without food and water. I come home and freak out, I never want animals to be not cared for. I'm not here enough. Yeah, I've never been here enough. Even before I got into this kind of work, I was in politics. I was heavily in politics, still am heavily in politics, just not as visual as I'd like to be. That will change. Why? Because I'm being attacked on a political level as well, right? And I've never backed down. I have never backed down. When have I backed down? I mean, I'm still here on YouTube despite all the controversy that people bring up. I've already weathered the storm. How many more times can you say that I'm a deplorable person? Like, it's old news by now. If you think I'm deplorable, I'm deplorable. If you think I'm good, I'm good. I mean, I can't sit here and stop my life because of somebody's opinion. Trust me, I've had worse days than somebody talking crap about me. Seriously. The life I lived by the age of 19, a 40-year-old person didn't even live. I'm now 42. Trust me, I have lived life. I have lived every aspect of life, the bad, the good, the horrible, the nightmare. I've also lived wonderfully, freely. Life is now amazing for me. I'm the stuff that I'm going through right now is chump change compared to what I went. Does it bother me? Of course it does. Have I had sleepless nights? Of course. Do I go through some depression over it? Of course, because people don't understand. I did an interview with my mom. I don't know how many of you guys saw that. People are trying to say I'm trying to now clean up my image. Are you kidding me? I've been cleaning up my image for years. You wouldn't know it because all this stuff that they consider new information about me is not new, right? It's not new at all. It's crazy what people. And if they think it in their brain, it's got to be true. That's how sick people are. They think it, it's true. All right, so getting back to Harmony Montgomery. So they held a visual out there at that park for her. I don't know what happened to Harmony. I can tell you that it's probably not good. I think that the parents put her in sex trafficking. Again, this is not a case that based upon, again, not out there. My perception may change. But do I think she's in sex trafficking? I don't. I think the father did some something, or the stepmother did something. I think it happened right there in and around the Christmas time area in 2019 when the wife or girlfriend half, told her mother that they were taking her to her mother, the Harmony's mom. I think that was all a ruse. I think something had already happened to her at that time, and they had to make up a story as to what happened to her. I think it was very tacky and disgusting, but these parents have been allegedly on drugs for many years. They're being held right now for fraud. Fraud is of government assistance is pretty bad. I mean, it's federal. It's a federal crime to be taking. Well, I shouldn't say federal. It is state crime if depending on the state. Social Security fraud is federal. If it's something like food stamps and state assistance, it's a state issue. So I'm not sure what they, other than they've committed fraud because they were collecting money for Harmony, knowing that Harmony was not in their care, custody, or control. They told everybody in and around them that she had been sent back to her mother. So if that had been the case, why are they still accepting government assistance for a daughter that's now in the care of her mother? Doesn't make sense. What makes sense is they knew that something happened to her. They knew that nobody was going to find her, and they were still collecting money because everybody thought that she was in their custody. So, good morning, Scotland. Salsa Shaker is in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone that's tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Don't keep me a secret. Like, share, and subscribe this page. Tell your friends to come over here, like, share, and subscribe. If nothing more, they can watch these lives after the fact. I know I'm starting this live. I got to wrap up here in just a little bit. I can't go too long on here because I have other obligations this morning, and I've got to be somewhere an hour and a half away. It's for political means, so I will not be doing a live on where I'm at or what I'm doing. I try to keep politics out of here. This platform is not really a political platform. It is a victims platform, a victims and victims family platform, and we want to keep that on that vein. We don't want any unnecessary distractions from the cases. So Harmony, people in and around her hometown, or the community at large is actually helping and fighting and formulating a Harmony army. So it is great to see that the community is coming out. They're passing out flyers. They're passing out pins. They're keeping her top of mind, which is huge. They're keeping her in the news. They're doing everything they can just to keep light on her case. That is commendable. Thank you, everybody out there in Manchester, New Hampshire, for doing your part for your community and for Harmony. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So Serenity is another beautiful missing girl out there in the world that we don't know what happened to. Another failure of the Department of Children and Family Services. Again, from what I'm reading in mainstream media, again, things do change, right? Things do change. I don't always take their word for it because I find that's in many cases, the information that they have and the information that I acquire when I'm actually out physically in the area is totally different. It is absolutely night and day different from what is being said to the people of this country and across the world. So this is a girl that went missing in Kentucky. Again, she was missing long before they realized she was gone. And we want to know where this 4-year-old child is. And the one thing that these kids have in common is the parents. The parents are of almost the same cloth. Newstuber Live, I really don't care of your opinion. You're not a victim or the victim's family. I can tell you the people that I spoke to yesterday know that I bring awareness on this channel and on this show. So if it's offensive to you, maybe this is not the place you need to be. Just saying. It seems like you're the one that has the problem with it as opposed to the families and the victims. Just saying. Just saying. I hope I clarified that for you. Any other questions you may have so I can move on? Because I don't recall you being a victim or you having family that's victims. I could be wrong. I'll wait. Let me get my phone out and see if you're speaking. So the idea that we're not allowed to cover cases on YouTube now. It's a channel. It's a show. Of course. Do you know what the definitions are? Do you know what the definition? Do you know what a definition is of a show and a channel? Maybe you need to go get a Webster's dictionary and look it up. Let's look it up. Yeah, exactly, Jackie Blue. Exactly. Like, these are the things that, people have nothing better to do with their life. Why would I don't need to do you don't run the show, okay? So if you don't want to be blocked, just move on. Seriously. People are here. They can read the chat. I appreciate you saying please, but no, I'm not going to read it. Thank you, Jackie. See, I don't need to read her comment. Why are you so adamant that I acknowledge you on my show? I'm acknowledging you. I'm acknowledging you. I've answered your question, and now you want to push the issue. Did you ever think that this is to cover cases? And by your comments, you're taking away from young children being covered, their faces from being on this channel, from bringing awareness to them. Do you know how disrespectful that is to the victims and the victim's family? Or do you not care? You don't care at whatever you can do at all cost. You don't care about these children or the victims because you're in here distracting from them. For what purpose? Do you honestly believe that YouTube is only utilized for drama? Is that what you feel YouTube is for? Is drama, not bringing information, not bringing awareness to the cases, not bringing 2 to 3 young, beautiful babies that could be dead on this channel to bring awareness to their case. Do you know how disrespectful that is? I have it recorded. Oh, it stays recorded. You can go back and review it later. Are you an idiot? Record that too. Jeez. Ooh. Idiots. Got nothing better to do. Got nothing better to do. It's a live performance. It's a channel. It's a show. No different than any other YouTuber. It's monetized. No different than any other YouTuber with over 1,000 subscribers. No different. Then great. Let me help you. Goodbye. Who the hell is that? Creep. Is it a show? Why are you calling a channel a show? Really? It's the best you got? This, and they think I'm a horrible person, right? My word. Absolutely weirdo. Go get your head checked. Go get your head checked. They are. They're gone. And then they can subscribe, but they won't be able to comment for 5 hours. Now you guys know why I have that rule, right? So that means that they subscribed yesterday or hours ago just to make those stupid comments. Isn't that hilarious? That's how low these people go. That's how low they go. Whatever. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. No, we don't. Can we say gaslighter? Jeez. Hey, but you know what? They got me recorded. These lives are recorded. How stupid can you be? I got you recorded. Okay, well, you can go back and re-record me if you need to. It's a show. Channel, show, same definition. Some people just are unstable. There are. And not only that, but we bring news here, legitimate news about these cases. And it's like, oh, you can't do that. You can't. What do you mean I can't do it? News Nation is on here. There's other independent broadcasters on here. There's people that put their opinions out there all the time, but they don't attack those people, even if they equal my opinion and act just the way I do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're not newsworthy. They're not newsworthy. And it's like, again, how many times can you talk about me in a negative light? But they just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. It's like people aren't like bored with the same crap over and over and over again. It's just, it's pitiful. It's pitiful. It's stupid in my opinion. And maybe that's the reason why I have the people. Yeah, we can make it a drama channel. It seems like people that lie and berate people get a lot of likes, shares, and subscribes. So if I was really doing it for the money or doing it for the likes and the clicks, I guess we would be a drama channel. Because the drama channels are the ones that have the tens of thousands of people, right? The people that mock people are the ones that have the tens of thousands of people, right? So if I really wanted to do it for likes, shares, and subscribes, I wouldn't be covering these cases. I would just be talking smack about everybody else covering these cases. Yes. So again, Serenity was a fail. Thank you, Salsa Shaker. You're right. So again, Serenity was another little girl that was failed by the system. She was in the system and they didn't look into her for literally over a year. Over a year. How does these things continuously happen? And it's back to back to back. Like these cases are just coming. And I think these cases have been going on for a while, but they've been hushed by mainstream media, right? They've been almost silenced. Mainstream media has so much power on the information that people get in the world, right? They have this amazing power that they hold as to what cases they cover, what cases get national spotlights, which cases move forward in the national attention, and which don't. And I think that it has been social media that has helped push a lot of this stuff forward, because if they're not covering it, we will. And in many cases, they don't cover it at first. Have you guys noticed that? It's years, or not years, but months or weeks later, after social media has gotten the interest and made it newsworthy, then mainstream media will jump on the bandwagon and start covering it with all they have. I mean, if it wasn't for social media influencing the Gabby Petito case, it wouldn't have exploded the way it did. We wouldn't have had people camped out and renting neighbors' yards at $3,500 a week had it not been for the influence of social media. Gabby's body would never have been found had it not been for social media people. Think about that. Social media. Oakley Carlson. That's the other one that was failed by the system. All these cases back to back. Back to back to back. Thank you, Salsa Shaker. It's crazy. It's crazy. Heather, you may have been, but I haven't seen you in here in a while. When we were going through some changes, I pulled a lot of people's wrenches. And only the people that I knew were friendlies are the only ones that kept their wrenches. I'm not. I'm very conservative now because a lot of people were being blocked that didn't do anything wrong. And so I had to pull a lot of wrenches from folks to make sure that that didn't happen again. And, a wrench is a very powerful tool that can be utilized against the show and the channel. And so I have to be very conservative. I hope you understand that. It's no disrespect to you. I just need to see you in here a little more, just get to know you better. But I can't just hand out these wrenches because they were literally going in and deleting and blocking people that did nothing wrong and that had every right to be here and to be part of the show. So, and the only way I can unblock them is if they send me an email and say that they've been blocked, and I do some due diligence in trying to figure out why they were blocked in the first place. Jackie Blue, she was, I think, I don't know who, there was a couple, 7 to Life. 7 to Life was in here and was blocked. And yeah, I didn't block her. So I just wanted to find out, who was doing it, and a lot of things were going on. So I do apologize about that. We will, oh gosh, Heather, you poor thing. COVIDism. Did I tell you guys the day that Don was going to court, I reached out to the news guy that I can't remember. I think his name was Chad. The news guy that we worked with up there that did the article on us and the web sleuthing that we did. And at the end of the day, he had COVID because I was going to call him and see if he could just, relay some information to me as he found out about Don Wells. We literally got it out within 5 minutes of everybody else finding out about it. So we did really, really good. Oh, golly. So Heather is saying her whole family caught COVID. I'm glad you guys are okay. We pray for you. I hope you get the clouds are lifting. I have to tell you though, Heather, be careful because everybody that's so far that has had that illness has had some major coughing stuff associated with it months after, they got rid of COVID. Olivia is a good example. She even had the vaccination. So she had very mild symptoms from when she got COVID because she had the vaccine. And she still has some coughing issues still associated with it. I think she had it back in October because we were going to be leaving to go cover Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner. And we had to extend, move our date back 2 weeks because she tested positive for COVID. Nobody else had it. Her mom didn't have, we were all around each other. Her mom didn't get it. I didn't get it. Jonathan didn't get it. She was the only one that got it. And it was really, really bizarre because we were all together all the time. And, but she did have it, and we had to push our itinerary back a couple weeks to go out there to Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner's case. And of course, the week we get into the area, it was freezing cold. So let's see what we've got here on Serenity Mckinney. So Kentucky police are searching for 4-year-old Serenity Mckinney, a Shelby County toddler who hasn't been seen for more than a year by family members. The girl's mother, Kathleen Mckinney, was arrested in Kansas earlier this month. Again, another state that knows how to arrest the parents. I have a funny feeling they arrested her on, guess what? Unrelated charges, which is what we've been trying to do, right? We've been trying to get these arrested on unrelated charges, the Wells on unrelated charges for some time. And so far, they only got Don Wells on a violation of probation. There were 4 children in that house. Where are the child neglect charges? And if you don't even want to go to the children in the home, what about Hunter? She contributed to the delinquency of a minor. That is an arrestable offense under Tennessee law. So Candace should be sitting in jail as well. Why haven't they charged her with that? And don't tell me it's a he said, she said thing, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As soon as they as soon as Hunter told law enforcement about that, they had to take it as true. They had to take it as true. They arrest her. If they don't have enough stuff to charge, they drop the charges. But they have enough to arrest her. They have enough to hold her in jail. Why haven't they done it? It makes you wonder, what is going on with Tennessee? What is going on with Tennessee? Exactly. When is she getting locked up? When is she getting locked up? So, the mom, Catherine McKinney, has been arrested in Kansas. And Shelby County Sheriff Office and Attorney General Daniel Cameron have been asking the public for help. Want to emphasize that. And finding the toddler. Oops, I just lost, hold on a second. My second screen just went out. There we go. So, these people are asking, let's read that again. Shelby County Sheriff's Office and Attorney General Daniel Cameron have been asking for public's help in finding the toddler, who was reported missing January 31st, 2022 by concerned family members who said they have not seen Serenity since Christmas 2020. What is it around Christmas with these children? So you've got Harmony that disappeared in 2019 around Christmas, and now you have Serenity that disappeared around Christmas in 2020. And DCF was involved in both of these cases prior to the disappearance of these children, yet they hadn't been seen by social workers in over a year. Serenity was over a year. Harmony was over 2 years. This is a failure in the system. And you know what they're going to say? They're going to say it's the communication. We've had these issues for decades. I'm sick and tired of hearing politicians saying, well, it's a communication issue. You've had communication issues for decades. When are you guys going to put forth legislation to fix those communication issues? These cases are being polarized across the United States, and our politicians they want to pass crap like protest bills, meaningless crap that we are going to find loopholes in, instead of putting forth bills to stop this communication issue from state to state. That seems like what why we pay our politicians, why we put them in office, is for real work, doing real work that's going to help the community abroad, not them politically. Where is the legislation, politicians? Where's the legislation to fix this communication issue from state to state? Senator Boyd from Florida wants to co-sponsor a protest bill so people don't go in front of his house to protest when they're sick and tired of going to his office and him ignoring us, right? So they want to put together those kind of bills, things that affect them, but people that things like this that affect everybody abroad, crickets. Shameful. Our politicians need to do better, because without them, we get no laws. We get no, you can't, like, for example, the United States bureaucrat just can't say, hey, we need to put together a system that communicates. No, that has to go through all this political crap to get approved to put it in effect. They can't just say, oh, we're going to put this in effect. You can't do that. People don't know. They're like, well, why don't they just do this? Why don't they do? Because they got to go through all these hoops to get it passed. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jovi. So my thing is, you know what, at this point, we got people from almost every single state in the United States here. I think we need to have a push. They have a system for criminals that different jurisdictions can tap into across the United States. But they don't have one for our children. They don't have one to protect the children, the most vulnerable in this country, with all the sex trafficking, all the parents on this drug epidemic that's sweeping across our country and has been sweeping across our country since they started introducing fentanyl into the heroin, and still nothing? Still no new upgraded systems to handle this? They have the Amber Alert, but this is a new generation of technology. When is our politicians going to catch up with it? Don't worry. You guys are going to get an unconstitutional protest bill here in the state of Florida, but our children are going to still keep getting lost. You got to be joking me. You have got to be joking me. Yep. You know what? And it's funny because I was just talking to Ruth's brother-in-law or son-in-law, right? Married to her daughter. And we were talking about it, about these criminals, some of these criminals, like the death criminals, like they're just not getting enough time. Like the people that do the worst of the worst crimes aren't getting enough time. Yet you got petty offenses getting slammed and thrown in jail for petty offenses. Petty offenses getting 10 years, but they're only giving 25 years to first-degree murderers. People that have planned and executed a murder, 25 years. So 10 years for a petty offense, and they're just adding 15 more years for somebody that's done a deplorable, despicable act, coordinated act. Does that make sense? There's so many things, you add government to it, is broken. And you can't trust the government, like even the privatization of these jails, because the contracts are giving to their buddy. It's called cronyism. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending sick cycle. Meanwhile, our children are getting taken off the streets, murdered, put in sex trafficking, deplorable, despicable parents, and nothing's being done. Nobody has coming up with any legislation to help these children, to help DCF or the alphabet soup of Child Protective Services. And again, it comes back down to, why are we funding Child Protective Services when they are conducting criminal investigations? It seems to me that we need to take that funding and move it over to law enforcement for them to have, detectives for children's services conduct these criminal investigations. It should only be once the criminal charges have been, alleged or a finding, then at that point, it should be handed to a social worker for the social worker to do their job to go get those children. For it to be opposite, where a social worker's involved, they look at the situation. They don't know the law explicitly. They're not trained in criminal investigations. And then they're the ones that determine whether it's a criminal investigation to hand it over to law enforcement. Does that sound ass backwards or what? To me, it does. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? We have a whole community of sympathizers. It's sick. These atrocities happening to the children at the hands of their parents, and people are coming to the aid of the abusers, the parents. It's sick. It's sad. Yeah. I'm looking into a lot of cases. A lot of cases of people that have murdered their children are coming up in the next few years. We got that the one case. What we were just reading about it. We were just reading about it. The little girl, the father's getting out in 2024. A lot of people that have done despicable things to their children are getting out in the next few years. What's the gal's name? Susan Smith, a good example. Drowned her kids in a lake, blamed it on a black guy. Come to find out, she was having an affair with a guy that didn't want to have children. She killed her kids. Since then, since being in prison, she's been peppered with a whole bunch of issues while she's been in jail, including 2 guards being convicted of having sex with her and put on probation. She's getting out. She's eligible. Not that she's getting out. She's eligible for parole in 2024. She's eligible for parole. She consciously strapped her children in car seats and pushed them into a lake, killing her 2 boys. And she is eligible for parole in 2 years. In 2 years. But don't worry, Bernie Madoff got a 145-year sentence, 200-year sentence for stealing money. And I do know there was more that went on with that. Some people actually committed suicide. I just want to make sure that we clarify for the audience that there's a lot of heinous stuff that went on with him stealing the money, but he didn't go out and murder them. If they felt depressed and killed themselves, it's a sad situation. Yes, he contributed to that. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm very clear. But it's sickening to me that somebody can steal money from people and get a 200-year sentence, a non-violent crime, a white-collar crime, and can get 200 years or 180 years behind bars, but you have a woman that consciously strapped her children into a car seat and pushed them into the water. If anybody has never drowned or come in close to drowning, it is a horrific situation. Trying to breathe, the pain of having water go in your lungs, the pain of your body shutting down. I got bit by a brown recluse spider and my kidneys and my liver started shutting down. They had to start pumping stuff into my body. And when my liver and my kidneys shut down, like you knew something was wrong. It was one of the most painful feelings I had ever felt in my life. And it was a pain internally that you could not, I can't describe it. It's an undescribable pain. So, all right, guys, it is the top of the hour. I'm sorry I couldn't stay with you any longer. I've got things to do. Again, we are going to be rolling out and covering more on Harmony, Montgomery, Summer Wells, Serenity Mckinney, and we may cover Oakley Carlson. Again, failures across the system, failures across this whole alphabet soup that they call the Department of Children and Family Services, or what alphabet soup they call them in a particular state. We are going to start bringing light to the atrocities going on with these children's services, the lack of funding that they are having. I know there was people that reached out to me when I was rolling it out for Summer Wells. We're going to have a broader discussion on it. I know there was one lady, I will find her again. I got sidetracked and did not have a chance to interview her, that wanted to talk about the children and family services. If you guys know anybody that's willing to talk to me, even if they want to talk to me confidentially, I'm happy to do that. I do not want to bring these people on live. I will air their stories if they so choose to want to be aired. I mean, I can change their names. I can change their voices. I'm happy to do whatever I need to do if they're willing to come forward. I have to find ways to confirm that what they're saying is true. So that's going to take some time. As many of you know, we do vet people very well, and try to, at least. We're human as well, so we do make mistakes. So at any rate, you guys are beautiful people. God bless you. I wish you the best today, this Sunday. Say a prayer for these babies. Say a prayer for all of them. You know, we need to end these atrocities and these attacks on our children across the country. There's some sick stuff going on in this country, and we need to figure it out, and we need to expose it. So with that, enjoy. Oh, yes, Salsa Shaker. It is Super Bowl Sunday. So folks, friends are telling me, go Bengals. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. So we will talk to you soon. God bless each and every one of you.